Hi, I'm Denise Ortiz of MindBodyHealing.biz. Thanks so much for joining us today. So, there's lots of different modalities that you can learn from to help yourself in everyday life. I've had a lot of different people on over the past 2 years. We've had some Qigong people, some shamans, people that will teach you about hypnosis. But through all of these, even the Reiki and the psychics and the healings, there's one thing that all of them have in common that is so necessary for that healing, and that's breathing, which is why today we're going to be talking about breath work. We need to breathe in order to live, and when we're not breathing properly, it could cause problems. So, I have a wonderful person that's on here today that I've been trying to get her on for a year, and I'm finally getting around to it. So her name is Nicole Figueroa. She is a trauma-informed breathwork guide, nervous system educated, and intuitive healing facilitator. Now, she's the founder of Feel the Heal 77 and co-founder of the Breath and Mind Alliance, where she helps individuals, families, communities to reconnect with their breath, restore inner balance, and remember their wholeness. So I'm going to invite Nicole in to tell us about breath work, how it works, and how it could help you. Nicole.
Thank you so much for that beautiful introduction. I'm honored to be here today and speak about breath. Um, I became acclimated with breath through my own healing and looking for something to calm my nervous system. I'm a product of trauma, and my whole childhood was chaos and nonsense, and nothing worked. I went to medical doctors, psychiatric wards, and everything. I thought I was crazy. My nervous system didn't match my mind didn't match my nervous system, and none of it matched the outside of what was going on with my family, children, and just the community in general. And nothing made sense. And I'm gaining weight, and I'm angry and tired and frustrated. And I go to the doctor with like 17 different types of medication. Nothing's working. I need help. Direct me. And she didn't know what to tell me. My body was inflamed. I had inflammation everywhere. Nothing they gave me worked. And so I decided to stop all the medication and figure it out. And I fell upon breath work. There's different types of modalities that I've learned from breath work. And the first one I've learned was the box breath, which is 4 in, 4, hold, 4 out, and then hold for 4 seconds. And it calmed me. I didn't understand it, but I wanted to know more. I fell across Soma Breath. And when I did a free session that they offered me online, was the first time in my life ever that I felt calm, free. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this is what normal feels like. I love it. And I needed to know more. And how does the breath work? And why is it working in my nervous system? So when you breathe in through your nose, that's sympathetic, right? And when you breathe out through your mouth, parasympathetic. So when you breathe in through your nose and elongate your exhale, you're putting your body in a state of relaxation, of calm. And the more you do it, the more your nervous system gets accustomed to it. So when you get
Wow.
anxious and agitated, your body knows where to go.
So basically, you're like, it's the old fashioned way you're breathing in the good and breathing out the bad,
Yes.
basically.
But when life hits us and trauma hits us and chaos hits us, it's like for an example, you're walking across the street and a car comes, almost hits you. What do? Do you breathe in or do you breathe out? Sympathetic, fight or flight, right? It pushes you on edge. And you're sitting at dinner with the one, your true love, and they look at you and say, Denise, I love you. What do? You breathe in or do you breathe out? Peace, relaxation, safety. So life hits us so much that and we get stuck and we forget how to breathe. And I just want to guide individuals that it's safe to exhale. and reteach them to come into their body and release the tension.
Wow, that's great. Like, so if so say I'm coming to you for a session, okay? And let's say I'm having panic attacks, okay? So maybe you could just kind of walk us through so people would have an idea what it
Sure.
would feel like in a session. Like, what type of things would you do to help them?
Well, I would ask one, there's a couple of different ways. How I do a group session, it's the Soma Breath way and how I was taught. So you're breathing in for 4 and out for 4, and we're doing this repetitive breathing for around 5 minutes. It feels you're creating stress on your body in a sense, right? So it's like if you go to the gym and you work out, you're creating stress and it's hard, but it's good stress because it's you're training yourself. And then I guide everyone to take a deep breath in, hold, and you're squeezing your sphincter muscles. So the muscles, your mula bandha, the muscles you would use if you had to urinate really bad. So when you're breathing in a rhythm, in and out, in and out, in and out, you're creating dopamine, serotonin, oxytocin, and endorphins. So all of these happy hormones are flooding your system, right? They're everywhere. So now you feel love, you feel joy, you feel acceptance, you feel peace because these are your happy hormones, right? And when we squeeze and pull and it's going up into your brain, giving you a sensation of peace, bliss, and just relaxation. And then I guide everyone to exhale all of the air out of your lungs and hold your breath. This is going to create a sensation of panic, right? Because there's no air and you're trying to figure out your body's trying to keep you alive. So it's sending the remaining oxygen in your system to the tissues and to the cells that need it the most to keep you alive. And then something amazing happens after you hold your breath for a period of time. You start to wake up sleepy stem cells that are hidden in your body, allowing it to go wherever your body needs it to go so you can heal. You're waking up your own inner pharmacy that we all have inside. So, people who suffer, myself included, from trauma stays stuck in the two or lower hemispheres of your brain, right? Which is your lymphatic part of your brain, which is your emotional center, and the reptilian part of your brain, which is, it's you're moving, you're protecting. If someone was abused and someone walks too fast, they don't know where that came from. It's just a reaction. Or you hear a song and it reminds you of your grandmother's funeral, for me, example, which happens, and you're crying and you're living in that moment as if it happened right then and there. It's just an emotional memory. So in therapy and talk therapy, they, work on the neocortex. They're walking you through it. But when you're breathing and you're pushing up through your reptilian, up to your emotional part of your brain, up to the neocortex, and now you're able to process this trauma with happy healing hormones and love and acceptance, it's a whole new way of life.
Wow, that sounds amazing, the things that you can do just with the breath, And it's interesting you said how it controls everything, how it flows through the body and that moment where we tighten everything and don't even realize it.
No, I mean, I'm sure there's been moments you're stressed out and you don't even know you're holding your breath. I was one of them. I didn't even know I was holding my breath. Or before I would go to sleep at night, I would go to sleep and I put my husband's like, "What's wrong? Does my breath stink? Why are you doing that?" I'm like, "I don't know." Lo and behold, my body unconsciously was looking for that CO2, less oxygen, to relax me. Unconsciously, my body already knew what it needed. I had no idea. Isn't that
Wow.
something?
That's amazing. How many people listening to this right now are going, wait a minute, I've done that. Wow. So what are the things that people would come to a group or, one of your online events or something to do with breath work?
Relaxation, peace, emotional regulation is a big one lately. People, their emotions are everywhere and they don't know why. They come home from work, and I was one of them, with your kids, and you're just and yelling and bittering and fighting, and why haven't you washed the dishes? And you're not angry, you're not mad. Why are you reacting this way? Because our emotions are everywhere. But if we can just take a couple deep breaths in the vehicle, in through the nose, long exhale through the mouth before we walk in, we change the whole mood of the whole dynamic of our evening with our family. It's just understanding what the breath can do for you.
And when you're working with the groups and they're doing the breath work, is it always the same breath work that you use that you described before, or are there different types of patterns?
There are different types of pattern depending on the theme. One of my favorites is the 4 in and 4 out, just because it's a regulating breath, or we're regulating it, right? We're teaching your body coherence, because when we're breathing in a rhythm, we are synchronizing and harmonizing the rhythms inside of our physiology. So we're becoming in that head heart coherence. And something magical happens as we're breathing in a group, right? Now, all of our heartbeats, all of our breaths are synchronized. And the meditation or visualization that I guide people through is basically waking them up to their own inner power and the manifestation power that it has when the group is all harmonized. It's it's life changing. It's life changing. It really is.
Wow, that's amazing. Simple as just a breath. How much the breath. I mean, we need it to survive, and we don't realize how we can use this. I mean, and this breath work is used, with everyday people just trying to get through.
I don't, I'm not sure. Everyone's religious background is different. I was actually raised as a Jehovah's Witness. So, they believed in Christ and how Christ was formed in the dirt, and God breathed the breath of life into Adam, right? So if you look at the Bible aspect and just example as if you were God and you're breathing into someone, you're blowing carbon dioxide into him, and that gave him life. So if we can learn to regulate our breath and allow that carbon dioxide to build up and allow the oxygen molecules to release from our hemoglobin and go into our body, it's giving us life. It's allowing the oxygen to come off to go in to where it needs to go. Carbon dioxide, it's giving you life. It's the miracle molecule no one ever knew about.
Oh, that's interesting. Very interesting. Yeah, and everyone knows it's just breathing life into something is a saying that you've heard and very well explained.
The word inspire, right? The Latin background of it, inspiral, is to breathe in. You're to inspire is you're breathing life into someone.
Nice. Very
Oh.
nice. Great.
Yeah.
Well, let me ask you before we wrap up, I want to know if there's anything else that you'd like to impart some wisdom or some ideas to anybody who's watching today about breath work.
If you're feeling stressed, anxious, or you just need a moment, take a deep breath in through your nose. Hold it there for a few seconds. And when you exhale, hum. Mm. One, when you're humming it out, you're elongating your exhale, right? So it's putting you in the sympathetic state. But it's also, so when you breathe in through your nasal cavities, you're producing something called nitrous oxide, which is our body's own natural painkiller. It's also a vasodilator, so it's opening up our blood vessels. So that's lowering inflammation. It's allowing the blood to flow more freely, the oxygen to flow more freely through your blood vessels. But when you hum it out, you're producing 15 to 20 times more than you would just by breathing in through your nose.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
Just breathe in through your nose. Check yourself throughout the day. I mean, one hand on the chest, one on the belly. Take a deep breath in. Where's it going? Is it in your chest or is it in your belly? And if it's going in your chest, correct it. let it go to your diaphragm. Because when we're breathing in our chest, we're shallow breathing. We're only allowing 30% of what our lungs are capable of to breathe.
Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah, we need a little more than that, don't we?
a lot more. And when we exhale, it's cleaning out our bodies, like our lymphatic system, right? Our It's breathing out the toxins. So when we go number one to the restroom, we're releasing about 7% of our body's toxins. When we do number two, we're only releasing 3% of our body's toxins. When we perspire, when we sweat, we're releasing 30% of our body's toxins. And when we exhale, when we breathe, we are releasing 70% of our body's toxins.
Wow.
We don't
That's
exhale.
interesting.
We don't exhale enough.
Yeah, I think I'll be doing some breath work with you pretty soon.
Good, good.
Yeah, we all need to release the toxins, the energy, and everything that's not serving us, right? Need it out through
Everyone,
breathing.
everyone hears us saying, "Oh, just breathe. Don't inhale through the mouth. Don't do it. It's too much oxygen and too much carbon dioxide that we're releasing too quickly. Breathing through the nose and feel the difference. Feel the shift because there's a shift."
That's awesome.
Thank you
Well,
for allowing me to
Nicole,
share
I,
this.
I just want to thank you so very much for being with me today and letting everybody know what they can do with just simple breath work. And I'm sure you'll have some events coming up that people can find on your website. Do you do some things online where they might be able to
I'll do
tune in
individual
with you?
sessions through Zoom for about an hour,
Hmm. Okay, cool.
which is good. I enjoy, of course, one-on-ones and groups face to face.
Hmm.
That's not always possible because there are people who are interested that live further away or just cannot. And
Right.
I enjoy the Zoom as well. So please, yeah, absolutely through Zoom.
That's great. All righty. So again, it's Nicole Figueroa, and she is with Feel the Heal 77, and she is the founder of the Breath and Mind Alliance. So again, I'd like to thank you so much. If anybody's interested in getting hold of Nicole, all of her information will be available at the end of this video. And once again, Nicole, thank you so much.
Thank
And
you.
thank you, everyone, for tuning in. And again, I am Denise Ortiz of mindbodyhealing.biz. And in the words of Nicole, she believes that breath is not just a tool, but a portal, and that healing begins the moment we return to it with intention. Have a great day.